In the era of social media, you could be defined by one clippable moment.
So that's it. San Antonio de Bayard. Means St. Anthony in English. Colonel speaks Spanish, you know.
Just like Davy Crockett and the fateful battle that gives this bowl its namesake, the USC Trojans came in with belief that they were building towards something bigger in the state of Texas. They still might be, but no one wants to hear that right now. They couldn't survive their first appearance in the Alamo Bowl, and they continue to get haunted by their ghosts of bowl seasons past. While the actual Battle of the Alamo lasted 90 minutes, it took 4 quarters and an overtime period to decide the 2025 college football version. The way it went down was enough to make the Trojan family sick to their stomachs. Let's look back on how it happened. TCU's pass interference near the goal line in overtime gave the Trojans 3 plays from the 2-yard line.
In the southern part of Texas, in the town of San Antonio, is a fortress all in ruins that the weeds have overgrown. You may look in vain for crosses and you'll never see.
They had to settle for a field goal.
Sometimes between the setting and the rising of the sun, you can hear a ghostly bugle as the men go marching by.
The defense gained all the momentum after a big play to Joseph Manjack IV was ruled not a catch, and Cameron Crawford got a sack to put the Horned Frogs 10 yards back.
Back in 1836, Houston said to Travis, "Get some volunteers and go fortify the Alamo." Well, the men came from Texas.
The cold hard truth is that college football is an ecosystem filled with noise. USC had a disappointing year for a fan base that expects national championships. But when you sign up to be a part of a program like the Trojans, you do as the plaque on Tommy Trojan urges you. You try to earn the palms. You feel the weight of tradition that precedes you. 137 years of history that includes some of the most iconic characters and thrilling wins in college football.
Step down off your high horse, mister.
Which brings me to this video. Since we are officially done with the first quarter of the 21st century, let's learn where we've come from and why it matters ahead of the toughest slate of opponents to be featured in the Coliseum in quite some time. After starting the season 4-0, the Trojans got beat in the 11th hour in Champaign. They responded in the Coliseum by holding their ground against a visiting Michigan team when walk-on freshman King Miller gashed them for 158 yards. Then, in what could be the last battle of the jeweled shillelagh, they lost by 10 to their fierce rival, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, in a game that featured running back Jeremiah Love running for 228 total yards.
Just inside the 15.
They went on the road and beat a blackout in Nebraska.
Quarterback Latif on his way to the line of scrimmage. He gets the handoff and he stumbles right away.
Avoided disaster against Northwestern in the Coliseum.
It's intercepted. Story's got it. Najee Story lost the ball through the end zone.
And won a rain-soaked game against an Iowa Hawkeye team gunning to expose them at the line of scrimmage. They entered the game in Eugene and wanting to keep their playoff hopes alive, only to lose the turnover battle, give up a kick return, and average 1.9 yards per carry. They beat their crosstown rival to close the season. Then they got assigned a final exam against the TCU Horned Frogs in a bowl game in the cursed territory that is the state of Texas. USC just can't seem to shake their demons there. The Trojans got stopped by Alabama to start the 2016 season in Dallas. Their offensive line made Sam Darnold run from ghosts in the form of Buckeyes in his last game as a Trojan in 2018. Even though the Trojans beat the Longhorns at home in the Coliseum in 2017, when they went to Austin, they lost 37-14. They gave up 46 points to Tulane in the 2023 Cotton Bowl. Expectations weigh heavier on the mind when the pressure is on, and that was no different this season. USC needs to remember their 2025 Alamo because of what they had and how they lost it. In the aftermath, they need to sit in this feeling while not letting it define them. Texans have made a conscious effort to remember the Alamo because to do otherwise would threaten their identity and existence. They did not want to allow Davy Crockett, a former congressman they picked up in the portal from Tennessee, and the other men who sacrificed themselves for the cause to have died in vain. They didn't want to leave their narrative up to historians. If the Texans didn't triumph in the long run, they would open themselves up to scrutiny over their decision to not send reinforcements. History could have defined the defeat as one of arrogance and ego, but it didn't. The valiant Texans may have lost the battle, but they refused to lose the war. But you can't talk about this Texas battle cry without a Trojan who was able to give it Hollywood treatment. Let me tell you about a Trojan in my head named Marion Robert Morrison. 100 years ago, Morrison was a USC football player from Iowa, recruited by the legendary Howard Jones. On campus was a member of the Trojan Knights and Sigma Chi fraternity. His college football career was cut short after a body surfing incident broke his collarbone, resulting in the loss of his scholarship at the university. It was then that John Wayne was born. John Wayne's legacy in film has been as contested as the definition of a catch.
Step down off your high horse, mister. You don't get lard less than you boil a hog.
But it included the part of playing Davy Crockett in the 1960 Western classic, The Alamo.
Have one of these cigars. That a good many men, sound men all, had a plot to ease the suffering of the people in these parts? Or were you going to tell them that Steve Austin, Houston, and others, and you too, Travis, had planned to declare for a republic? To declare this the Republic of Texas? Were you going to tell them that, Travis?
Whether you love them or hate them, you can't tell the history of the school without talking about its deep ties to Hollywood and the film, advertising, and media hub that comes with it. College football is modern warfare amongst American universities, and as it sits now in the present, USC is losing the war. We have to wait another 9 months for Trojan football. The conversation surrounding this team will be nauseating.
Throw it high. He's open vertically. He's not open anywhere else, but throw the ball high to the back of the end zone.
I love this program because while I was at USC, I had one of the coolest work study jobs, cutting film for the football team in Heritage Hall and hosting official visits for high school recruits in the LA Coliseum. Take it from me, Alex Yoshida. I've seen the sports industry as a staffer, an agency worker, a social media coordinator, writer, and market researcher, but I've never stopped seeing the games through the lens of a fan. Over the offseason, I'm going to try my best to recruit new fans and show you why USC leans on its history. I want to educate future fans about what's at stake and why it should matter. Using my backyard of Los Angeles as a set, I want to explain the football world as we know it and the events of the last quarter of a century that got us here. In the modern era of college football, facilities and name, image, and likeness collectives are how you recruit and how you retain your talent. Whether it is a coach or a class of recruits, currency and finding the right value is the fuel in a fight on for relevance. That's why I'm opening this rabbit hole right now as the transfer portal opens. USC needs to recruit a new generation of fans who can be brought up to speed on everything that has changed in this new world of college football and how we got here. USC needs to remember their 2025 Alamo because of what they had and how they lost it.
Get lard less than you boil a hog.
Bro, look at this dude.
Again.
Again. Oh shit.
It's on video.
I see everyone getting all the things I want. I'm happy for them, but then again I'm not. Just cool vintage clothes and vacation photos, I can't stand it. Oh God, I sound crazy, that winning is not my loss. I know it's cool, but I can't help getting caught up in it all. Comparison is killing me slowly. I think too much about kids who don't know me. I'm so sick of myself. Rather be anyone else. But jealousy.
at a place where, like, Ronnie Ott played.
Again.
No comparison is killing me. I think
Seeing ghosts.
Seeing ghosts. That's not good. And you heard what he said? They're going to keep bringing it.
It's on video.